Okay, so I'm feeling pretty embarrassed because this is the first time I'm hearing that for 11 years, Cannon Beach has been hosting a literary festival, one that Ursula K. Le Guin was quoted saying was the best party she'd ever been to. And it has the best name possible. Get Lit at the Beach is happening the weekend of April 11th through the 13th. That's right, Get Lit at the Beach brings together authors and readers to celebrate a mutual love of books and reading, and I'm assuming more from the name. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to www.getlitatthebeach.com. Today on CityCast Portland, we're continuing our neighborhood guide series where we talk with Portlanders about the good, bad, and ugly of where they live. And this time, we're talking about the North Portland neighborhood of Overlook with resident couple and bike advocates Jenna Phillips and Nick Coda. Jenna is known for her delightful TikTok and Instagram videos that she makes under Jenna Bikes, and Nick is a civil engineer and the Overlook Neighborhood Association Transportation Chair. They're telling us why they think Overlook is the best Portland neighborhood for biking and possibly one of the most transit-rich parts of the city. It's Tuesday, March 25th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Well, before we get into specific spots to check out, do you want to name the boundaries of Overlook? And I've realized how important this question is because every time we do this, it actually allows the person who is talking to me realize how their neighborhood is not what they thought. They're just like, oh, that's not in my neighborhood. So yes, what are the boundaries of Overlook?
Overlook is interesting in that it's geographically bound by the river on kind of the southwest side. Technically, some people consider Swan Island not a part of Overlook since it's so different, but it is technically Overlook. So on the southwest, you have the river and kind of the bluffs, the iconic Overlook Park area, all the way down until it meets with I-5, which is the east boundary. And then north, you have Ainsworth, which I think a lot of people think that Overlook kind of stops at maybe Willamette or Going or even further south, but it truly goes all the way up to Ainsworth. As somebody who may or may not reside up there in the outskirts of the neighborhood, we still matter.
I saw somebody describe it as south to the Fremont Bridge. So you can imagine where like the Fremont spaghetti overpasses are, kind of over that corner is the very bottom of Overlook.
Oh. Well, now that we know the area that we're talking about, best pitch. Why do you love living in Overlook?
Overlook feels like a quiet neighborhood, which I know when we were chatting about this, we said everybody says this about a Portland neighborhood. But it is true. We're a quiet neighborhood nestled by accessible transit, dense areas. There's a ton of parks. We have the river as a geological feature. And there's also a ton of businesses on Killingsworth, which is maybe my favorite part. You get the neighborhood and then you get this big business district.
What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's the fact that it's pretty transit rich. Like we have 3 MAX stations all in Overlook. And we also have the 72, which is a pretty awesome bus line because then you can get on it. You can go to Alberta and go to all the shops there. And then you can keep taking it and go all the way to 82nd. It's just awesome. And I also like just the identity of North Portland. Like I know you all talk about being in North Portland and we get to claim it even though we're like that small wedge at the very bottom. It's nice to just have like North Portland as your back door to kind of go hang out and go bike around and kind of thing.
Yeah, that was actually the last neighborhood I lived in before I moved.
Aww.
Pretty much like all the way up to just St. John's, which a lot of people think might be Washington.
It's very far.
You know what, Jenna?
The last episode, didn't you say that like you thought it was a different city or something?
Yeah, no, Jenna was just like, well, it's like an hour away. And I was like, it is not an hour away. But I think she was talking about biking there.
Yeah.
So I used to live like right on Killingsworth, kind of like where Greeley is, that area.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I totally know Overlook well, and I love Overlook Park. Well, we've talked a bit about the positives, which unsurprisingly was very transit heavy. Now, what are a few of your personal Overlook gripes?
I think personally, our biggest gripe is historically, there is a triangle of Overlook that is most iconic. So we're talking Overlook Park up to Going.
Okay, I'm looking.
And then boundary of interstate, not the freeway. So this really smaller pocket. The gripe is the behavior of people who live in the triangle can be very elitist. As somebody who does not live in the triangle but lives in Overlook, people refer to it as, oh, I live in the triangle.
Oh, gotcha.
And if you're on the outskirts, there was a big debate on if they were going to split our Buy Nothing group into 2 different groups. One is the
What?
triangle and one is outside the triangle.
Yeah, the rest of us.
Oh my, okay, so let me explain. So this triangle, which is close to Overlook Park, has some magnificent views. These houses are incredible. Beautiful.
Historic trees.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
It's like a little section of like, I think it's like Irvington level of houses. These houses are really
Yeah.
nice. And
$1 million homes, like
Yeah.
multi-million dollar homes.
It's very snooty, yes.
I had somebody call where we live in Overlook, Overlook, the other day.
Okay.
God.
Oh my God, I love that your gripe is just like classism.
It's a little sexist. Well, it's just because there is like quite the spread, I feel like, of like
Okay.
housing in Overlook. And you've got that like Irvington area, and then you've got more like, I think the rest of like North Portland housing, like where we live.
And it's super rich, housing dense areas outside of the triangle. And the new apartments that have come to the edge of the triangle were fought very hard and are continuing to be fought. We're thinking of the Palms development. That neighborhood association meeting was wild.
Oh, because of your involvement with the neighborhood association, Nick, we're seeing the underbelly of Overlook is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, there was quite a conversation about that one. It always leads back to parking. Like everybody's just concerned about parking.
So before I lived in Overlook, this is so ridiculous. I lived in Arbor Lodge, which was right on top of
Very far away also.
Yeah.
so far away. But we had a New Seasons.
Yeah.
And we also had Fred Meyer, So we had these options. But Overlook, I feel like
There's no grocery store.
there's no grocery
There's no
store,
grocery
right?
store. Yeah.
That would be a gripe for me for sure.
It's a big gripe. I mean, we can bike and walk to that New Seasons and the Fred Meyer and Cherry Sprout in Humboldt.
Humboldt, technically?
So I think it's Humboldt, yeah.
Yeah. mhm.
So we frequent those grocery stores, but Nick was just telling me that Harbor Freight on Interstate, that's just kind of like always empty. It used to be a grocery store, and that would be so perfect.
It used to be a Safeway.
Oh, wow. All right, well, let's take a quick break here, and when we return, where Jenna and Nick would take someone new to the area. Have you heard of bookshop.org? They're an online marketplace whose entire mission is to support local independent bookstores. The way it works is every time you buy a book through bookshop.org, you can choose an independent bookstore to directly support with your purchase. Just select your favorite neighborhood shop from across the street or across the country. I know a lot of us are trying to wean ourselves off Amazon, so here's a great option. And you'll feel good knowing that with bookshop.org, your money is supporting your local community and helping indie bookstores continue to foster culture, curiosity, and a love of reading for generations to come. Use the code CITYCAST to get 15% off your next order at bookshop.org.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Fred Warner, linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. Abercrombie has the new suits you need, plus all the collared shirts to go with them. The Abercrombie & Fitch Collins suit is the only suit you'll ever need for any occasion. Available in slim, classic, and athletic. Pair with a collared classic. Go with a soft, easy-to-wear sweater polo or a comfortable long-sleeve shirt. With so many different fits and fabrics, you can make a look that's completely your own. Add the Abercrombie & Fitch Collins suit and new collared shirts to every occasion this season. Shop online or in store.
Okay, so where would you take someone new to the area? If you just wanted to be like, here's, where we live.
I recently got to do this because my sister and her fiance just moved to Portland, and they live in Humboldt. So we invited them over, and we've been kind of showing them around our favorite places in Overlook, which has been so exciting. Top of the list, Nick and I both agreed, you have to do some of the basic Overlook things, even though they're basic and everyone does them, like a trip to the Bluffs, which is iconic, beautiful, very exceptional way to view the train tracks and also the sunset. So I highly recommend a trip to the Moxcrest Bluffs. And you can't park on the street that leads up to the park. So it's kind of like a big reveal. You walk down, you don't know how many people are going to be there, and then you show up, and there's just like a massive crowd, which is really fun.
It feels like pretty quintessential, and I feel like also it's just kind of funny that usually when the sun sets, people just like start clapping, like "Heck yeah, it was such a good sunset, everybody!"
I forgot
Anyway,
about that.
yeah,
So
it's
sweet.
fun.
When I was like, hey, pitch your neighborhood, I was so surprised that you didn't like mic drop. Like, we have the Bluffs, like one of the most iconic Portland locations, you know?
Yeah, we have some good parks.
So, yeah, tell me about this day where you
Yes.
took your sister. So, you took her to the Bluffs.
Took her to the Bluffs, but the main event is the quote monthly Overlook Neighborhood Association Transportation Chair meeting/bike ride that Nick might host every month.
I have to roll my eyes. She's like, "You gotta plug the ride."
It's the best ride.
Well, tell me about this.
We lead a monthly bike ride, and so as being in the neighborhood association, I'm the transportation chair. So instead of doing like a snuffy meeting where people just gripe about things, like let's go out and meet over coffee and then go on a bike ride, and then we can go check out those places like in real time. Yeah, we do it every month, rain or shine. You know, if you're not interested in even coming to Overlook to do it, I recommend doing one for your own neighborhood. It's just a great way to just get people to go out and see the streets and kind of like explore the place that you hold dear to you, which is your home.
That's so cool. You know, I feel like I moved pretty much when you guys moved in, and then I feel like you kind of made that neighborhood cooler because I remember I was talking about these like porch shows that like when I would visited my partner because she was like going to grad school in Boston, but like there was like this neighborhood there called Somerville, and every summer they would have these like porch shows and like the kegs would be out, and it just seemed like so much fun. And I was like, man, that seems like a very Portland thing. Why don't we do that? And Nick, you're like, Overlook does that now. And I'm like, what? And to me, like if I were visiting you guys, I would want to go to that. What are they
Yeah.
called?
The Porch Fest.
Oh,
Porch Fest.
nice.
It's usually, I don't know the dates at the top of my head, but it's usually in July, and I think this will be the 5th time it's going to be done, maybe the 4th
That's a
time.
long time.
Yeah, it's starting to be like a pretty good tradition. Yeah, where we have all these local bands sign up, and we literally like match make with like people who have houses that are interested in just like having them play out their front porch. It's so sweet.
Okay, so we have the Bluffs, we have this neighborhood. I threw in Porch Fest just because I was like, oh my God, I
So
love
good.
Porch Fest. Where else did you take her?
We haven't taken her yet, but it's on the agenda. Haymaker, which seems like a small corner bar off Killingsworth, hosts shows, queer comedy nights, open mic, bluegrass bands. Our neighborhood fills up with people who come out of the neighborhood to attend these shows because it's so popular. They have great smash burgers, veggie burgers too, and it just feels like such a sweet little way to fill up a corner of a really busy street with music and laughter, and I can't wait to take her there.
Oh, yeah, I think I had one of the best beers of my life at Haymaker, and I've been chasing that high ever since. It was like some
Yeah.
sort of like IPA mango beer from like some
Wow.
little brewer. Yeah, thank you, Jenna.
Sounds great. Mango?
She's like, wow.
Wow.
There used to be a wine shop
Yes.
called Jean Marc. I don't know if that was before your time.
It was before our time, but when he started selling out of his house, that was during our time.
So that was during my time too. That means that we both lived there. Do you remember? And then he retired and he moved to the Dells. And
Yeah.
sometimes when I ride down Ainsworth, we look at the Jean Marc house and we're just
Yeah.
like, bye, Jean Marc. And his wife would make,
The cakes.
remember the cakes?
cake.
Yeah.
We went to the yard sale when he departed, and we got some
Aw.
kitchen stuff, and we also got a case of wine.
He gave us so much wine that was like mislabeled.
awful.
Yeah, you could literally just like post up in his driveway and drink wine, and like it was a legal business. Like he
Yeah.
was able to do that. I thought that was so cool. I remember when we first went to the neighborhood, he was still doing that, and that was fun.
Yeah. I'm so glad you guys were able to get that. Okay. Well, let's talk about taking someone on the perfect date. What are we doing?
We're grabbing our bikes, obviously, ditch your car. And I think there's two vibes. We sometimes like to drop a little money on food, and sometimes we like to get food to go, and it's really quick. So drop in a little money. I highly recommend going to Milk Glass Market, which is the cutest little corner market. She makes breads, dips, tapenades, crackers.
It's so good. Yeah.
They have ice cream now, soft serve, and they have little like vegan Snickers bars that are frozen. Super
sounds so
great. They
good.
also have excellent wine that you can get to go. So we're getting this stuff to go. Put it in your bike basket. The other option would be Fire in the Mountain. which Nick and I frequent there too much.
I love that the night and day of Milk Glass Market, and you're just like, we're fire on the mountain. Like, it's just like these
There's no in
two.
between.
No, but they both
two
give us so much
extremes.
joy.
Yes.
Especially, guys, if you've like ever walked into Milk Glass Market, it's like it's so cute. It's so cute in there. I'm not saying Fire on the Market isn't cute, but it's more just like you go in there, it's a little sticky. You know what I mean?
It is literally sticky. We brought
That's
our
like the
child
most
in there,
hole in the
it's
wall
sticky.
Fire on the Mountain location too.
Okay, so we're either getting some, bespoke vegan treats from Milk Glass Market, or we're getting like a greasy, I hope it doesn't leak in my bag, wings from Fire on the Mountain.
You have to choose.
Yeah, where are we going after that?
And we're going to, you guessed it, the Bluffs,
Oh,
because it
nice.
is the best park, definitely at sunset to eat. There's also enough space for you to have a little blanket, put your little bikes there. It's very cute. And then if the vibes are going good, if this is your date, vibes are good, they didn't get wing sauce everywhere, you're taking this over to Advice Booth, which is coincidentally right next to Milk Glass Market, but if you had gone there before, it would be too early. So you go there after. They always have a Jell-O shot of the day.
Oh.
And a drink special of the day. And the Jell-O shots are vegan, and they're great.
I think the owner told us that they get their Pop Rocks from like China or something like that. Like it's a vegan Pop Rock. Apparently Pop Rocks naturally aren't vegan.
How?
Turns out
They
just
like
like-
explode in your
they're
mouth.
really violent.
So you're saying these vegan Pop Rocks are louder than the regular Pop Rocks?
They're really loud.
Oh yeah.
So you're saying they're more visible, present, and they want you to know that they exist in your mouth? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying about these vegan Pop Rocks?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting. Interesting. That's how those
very
Pop
on
Rocks
brand, very on brand.
Very.
So, but that sounds awesome. Okay, so I lived like 2 blocks away from Milk Glass and Advice Booth. I love Advice Booth's patio during the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah.
It's perfect. That's a great spot. Or if the vibes are really, really good, the Alibi for a little tiki karaoke might just be the spot for you. When we lived at Overlook Park, we used to go there quite a lot to show it off to our friends who were from out of state, and everyone loved it. You get like a little shark gummy in your little frozen drink.
Oh yeah, and I just love the vibes. How everyone's so supportive of everybody singing, even if it's like
Not good, but
yeah. But I mean, like,
who cares? Who's going to the
never-
Alibi to hear good music?
Yeah, rarely gone to karaoke and been like, damn, what I mean? That's the whole fun of it. One of my favorite places when I lived there was I loved Pinky's because I like the pizza, and they have really good gluten-free pizza. I thought I don't know if
What? I didn't know they had gluten-free.
we thought it was the best gluten-free pizza. But then they also had really good, like they were like a whiskey bar basically. So they had like all these whiskeys. So then I also really liked Old Gold
Yeah.
because they have whiskey. I don't know if you know, they have whiskey there.
A
They
big
also have a
wall of everything listed out.
yeah, and like a club, and yeah, it's cute. Okay, so that is a perfect date. Now, what about where the locals are hanging out?
Well, outside of Fire on the Mountain, Stack's Coffee House is truly peak local Overlook vibes. Do they have the best coffee? No. Is it good? Yeah, it's pretty good. They do make their own zucchini muffins, which is very cute. They also have a library that you can sign up to check out books or just read them while you're there.
That's so cute. Yeah.
Nick meets there before the bike bus that he leads on Fridays, and a ton of parents and kids are kind of getting their morning started there too.
Yeah, it truly feels like the place where it's like, where do you want to meet up? Oh, Stacks. And everybody just kind of goes there. And they're open pretty late into the evenings now, so that's been nice too, because I feel like
That's
having
cool.
yeah, a coffee shop like open past 2 o'clock is kind of a rare find in Portland. So it's just a great hangout spot, and they make breakfast tacos all day too.
I was
And
about
so-
to say, can we
Yes.
just, oh my God, they taste like homemade tortillas, and
Yeah.
they're flour breakfast tacos, but they're so good.
It's so good. And so the whole place kind of just smells like sausage and egg and bacon
Yeah.
all day too. So that's just like part of the cozy vibe of the whole place, and with all the books on the walls too. It's just, yeah, it's good energy.
I love it. Well, where else do y'all hang out?
We've taken our family, extended family, when they've come to visit to Double Mountain. It is a chain. Nick said I had to call out that it's a chain.
But it's a local chain.
It's a local chain.
I mean, I love you're like, oh, New Seasons. It's a little, it's a little chain, yeah, but it's
I think there's like 2 other locations. There's like one in Hood
There's 2
River,
other.
and then there's one in I think maybe down in Selwood. I can't remember where the other location is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Chain, but it's good. They do have gluten-free and vegan pizza.
Their pizza's good. I remember.
Yeah, it's good. They also have a ton of ciders, which is super nice to find. Usually it's just like one token cider. So they have a bunch, which they make. Also, when I was pregnant, we went there a lot to get their root beer that they make.
Oh.
It's really good if you're into root beers. We would get like a growler full of it and walk it home. Just my big pregnant belly.
Nice. Okay, where else?
Last but not least, La Perlita. Joined the neighborhood maybe 2 years ago.
And it's like a part of the La Repubblica. It's owned by that kind of chain of restaurants too.
Yeah.
And so they have, I think like honestly the best coffee.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I completely agree. I remember when they were next to Republica.
Yes, their syrups are good, their mochas are good, the beans are excellent. It is a little expensive. That's the only call out. But I think you're paying for what you get, which I'm all about a value.
And they got like pastries and stuff.
No,
Yeah.
I can't eat those. Nick enjoys those though.
Nick, are they good?
They're good.
Oh man, I'm jealous now because I'm like, oh, I would have loved La Perlita when I was living there. Yeah, it's like, wow, it's like right there too.
It's a great little pop in while you're going to get the Max to go north, either to the grocery store or to Kenton.
Well, before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to mention about Overlook? This is the part where I'm just like, are there ghost stories? Are there fun historical facts? Like basically a fun fact about your neighborhood that we weren't able to squeeze in.
Nick has one and then I have one. Nick, you should go first.
Okay,
I'll go first. Okay, so that you were talking about that pedestrian overpass that goes over going. We call it the loop-de-loop, but if you're ever in the neighborhood and you just go over this really weird windy bridge, you'll know it. And on the south side of the bridge, there is like this weird little parklet called Simon Stanich Park. And the only reason why you could know that is that there's a rock with that name and this like random guy's face on it. Mm-hmm. And it's this guy who lived in the neighborhood and apparently he made like really good sandwiches, which is a different story. He had his own restaurant, but he was a neighborhood activist that like fought the Going Expressway, which is just that like ramp of road going down to Swan Island, kind of cuts the whole neighborhood in half. And he helped push them to narrow the road a little bit to keep some of the houses there. Literally the houses getting destroyed for it. So they narrowed the road just a little bit more than what they initially proposed. And so he's like the hero of the neighborhood. And apparently he pushed for that overpass to be built to connect the neighborhood for people walking and biking to the school.
That is so cool. You know, it's so funny because I've seen that rock. I've, for years walked that overpass, no clue. And I know there's also just a weird ass like park. You know what I'm talking about? Right next to it. Is that part of his?
On the other side.
It's just like a weird park. Like, who owns this? Who's responsible for this?
Know.
There's just space like that, like all over in that area.
You know what it is? It's a liminal space. It's the kind of place that you dream of, and you're just like, why would I dream of that space? And it's that park. And then you go to that park. Do you know what I mean? And you're just like, it just doesn't feel like it belongs anywhere.
And there's a big kind of sculpture in it. Like,
there's a weird sculpture. The sky looks weird there. I feel like people, if you,
I think you're onto something.
It's one of those things where like it's hard to describe, but once you're in there, you're like, oh yeah, this is the weird park they're talking about.
It's like a weird gulch too of the whole neighborhood that like randomly appears. I don't know.
Okay.
The roads aren't paved. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
They aren't paved. Yeah. Why is that?
All right, Jenna, which one's your?
Okay, this is not a ghost story. Nick and I were talking about if we should even share this because sometimes it feels like a cheat code that we want to keep secret, but also it might be ill-advised. So that's the preface.
The like, hey, we're doing it, but we could be sued.
Are we
I
going
don't
to take
know.
our kid and do this?
Probably not.
So the 72 bus ends at Swan Island at the Daimler headquarters. And from Overlook where we live, maybe that's like a 10-minute bus ride. Super quick. Get down there. As a side note, there is a new burger place, all vegan, called Faceplant. And it is right around there, so you could take
In
a
that
bus
area?
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Very interesting location. It opened up a week ago.
Oh, it looks so good.
I know, it looks really good. And we have found there is a boat ramp with river access right around the corner from where the bus drops you off. And on days where it was, 100 plus degrees, we did in fact take the 72 to the end with our blow up floaties and our picnic blankets. And we did enjoy the river there. However,
isn't it?
It's a super fun site.
Yeah.
So don't go digging in the water, but just be near the water. definitely cools the temperature, which is why this is ill-advised.
I love that your fucking fun fact is like, hey, there's a really fun Superfund site to access the. To me, I'm just like,
And the bus
and
goes there.
you're an official North Portlander. Are
Yeah.
you waiting around in a Superfund site and being like, what? Just don't put it in your mouth. I don't know what we're talking. Just put the dirt in your mouth. Don't rub your
Beach
eyes.
towels, floaties, a can of beer. Yeah.
Superfund.
It's nice. And I think the fact that like the 72, the bus line ends over there too. So when you're done, you go to the bus stop and wait, and literally they're like taking their 15-minute break, smoking a cigarette, whatever, and you just get to hang out with the TriMet bus operator.
Nick, that is your fun part, is that you get to hang out with a bus driver?
I do, yeah.
Nick, do you think that if you weren't an engineer, you would have loved to have been like a train operator or a bus driver? Or...
Oh, hands down. I think about it every day.
I love it. Oh, man. Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us and giving us, your tour of the Overlook neighborhood. It's so funny because, again, I used to live there, but like listening to you guys, it's just a whole different angle.
Yeah.
The triangle. I never knew. I love it.
So elitist.
Well, thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Well, that's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.